All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Bullhucker Podcast. I'm Moose Lundstrom.
And I'm Carrie Ankrum.
What's up, Carrie Ankrum?
What's up?
Back again, sister.
Yes.
We are a week before Halloween.
Yay.
And we found a very, very special guest this week. I'm actually really excited for this one. I met her at the the museum board. She runs. Well, we're gonna let her tell her what she runs.
Okay.
How are you today, Silver Vincenzetti?
Fine. How are you?
Did I get it right?
Yes.
Oh, high five! Come on, look it up. There you go. How
it's
are
a toughie.
You? It is tough.
Try spelling it.
You do the mostly ghostly tour, and I
Yes.
was saying at the city council, but I was calling you Vincenzetti, so that's on me. So if I had something,
That's why everybody just calls me Silver.
Silver. That's a great name. We're going to get into a lot of that stuff later. The reason I'm excited you're here today is because you are big into the supernatural.
Yes.
And that's super awesome. I think that's great. We've been talking about it before. Well, Carrie was eating. She was getting down on some pretzels, right? So and I was setting things up. So I love you, Carrie. It's fine. But we're going to get into some of that here in a little bit. But before we get started, I do want to say, if you're new to the podcast, welcome to the Bullhucker Podcast. What this podcast is, it's a podcast where we bring on a guest. Now, this guest is going to tell us 3 stories about their life. The kicker is only 2 of these stories is true. One is actually made up. It's not true. It's either made up or borrowed or something like that. We're not going to ask anymore what it is. Okay, we're me and Adam getting ballsy lately. And at the end of the episode, Carrie and I are going to try and guess which one of these is not the true story. So, you've been watching these episodes.
Yes.
How good are you at guessing?
So far I've been okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm horrible at it. How'd you do last time you were there?
I'm not very good.
No? When last time you were here, you were...
I don't remember if I guessed it or not.
I can't remember. Who were you with? I don't remember at all.
Oh, it was Sue.
Oh, that's
From
right.
the city.
I think we both got beat on that one, didn't we?
I think
it was the
maybe.
15-hand horse or whatever, wasn't it? Do you know what that is? Neither do I. I guess they rate horses by hands.
Oh, yeah, by hands, yes.
That's how tall they are.
Yes.
Yes, yeah, I had no idea.
I don't plan on going up and checking.
No, me neither.
I don't feel like getting kicked.
And also, we were at the Brush Emporium, the Bullhucker studio at the Brush Emporium. And I want to stop by saying thank you to the Brush Emporium for giving us this great space to have a podcast, for giving us a home for the Bullhucker Podcast. It's a great place at 210 Clayton Street. If you haven't checked it out, what are you doing, man? Come check it out. How was the pretzel?
Amazing. They
have pizza here. They have ice cream. They have frozen yogurt. You name it, man.
Cauliflower crust is awesome.
Energy infusion.
Is that? That's right. The Red Bull. I forgot. You tried the cauliflower.
Yes.
It's
awesome.
Because it's free, right? It's gluten-free?
Yes.
All right. It is. Can you tell the difference?
No.
No, not at all.
No.
It's good. You got to get it with the jalapeno poppers.
It doesn't...
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not a good jalapeno person.
Yeah. Not at all?
The only jalapeno I like is the jalapeno on a stick.
On a stick. I thought you said something else.
On a stick. On a stick. That's how he says it. On a stick.
My God, so that was horribly forward. Whatever, you like it, man. We don't kink shame here on the Bullhucker Podcast, though. Excuse me. So, Silver, you just got done with one of your runs, your tours, right? Your mostly ghostly tours.
Yes.
Can you tell us? We're going to get really into it later, but can you tell us just a quick bit about it right now?
Well, my boyfriend and I decided to start it because all the rides you go on, they're like $40 a person. Yes, they go to good causes, but we, with the economy, wanted something to do that was free. And we thought, well, we like ghostly stuff. My grandson and I go ghost hunting all the time.
Really?
And we thought, well, let's make something ghostly. So we've been to the Stanley. We've been to a little place out in the port, a little cemetery. We've been to the Fairmont Cemetery. We've been to all these different haunted places. I can't for the life of me think of the name of the opera house in Longmont.
Oh, it's the...
It starts with a D. Can't remember the name of it.
I was going to say the Bishop. I DJ'd a wedding there.
Ah, okay. That's that beautiful...
It's badass. Yeah. Yes, it's badass. It's, I'll think of it here in a second.
Yeah, I know.
But go ahead.
2 o'clock in the morning. I know what it is.
Oh, yeah, no, that but, it's beautiful in there, but it's old.
And the guy was really nice. He'd walk us through and tell us all the ghost stories, so that was pretty cool.
Really?
But we decided let's do something free, and we came up with the Mostly Ghostly ride. Mm-hmm. And it gets bigger every year. This year, I think the weather kind of scared everybody.
Right.
But we still had a pretty good turnout.
It's new to the area.
Yes.
People have to get used to it, and once they get to it, they're going to love it. I had to work, or I was going to try and make that, because I love this stuff. I love the supernatural stuff, but I'm kind of a coward with some of it, We had talked earlier, you had went to a local business here and felt something followed you home. Mm-hmm. That's my biggest fear, is that someone will attach to you and go with you, right?
Yep.
Is there any way to stop that from happening?
Be a tree hugger. Hug a tree. The tree will take it from you. Yeah.
Seriously?
The tree is your biggest friend for anything.
Really?
Yeah. Just release everything to the tree.
You got to actually hug the tree, or is that just saying?
No, hug the tree.
Okay.
You might look a little silly, but hug the tree. You can actually put your back up against it too and meditate. And,
because it wasn't benevolent, right?
But,
benevolent? Well,
it wasn't. No, it wasn't anything bad.
Right.
So.
Because these little towns, downtowns, they're all old buildings, right? Because you own a business downtown.
Yeah.
Have you ever had anything weird?
No.
Really?
No, but we don't go in the basement.
I didn't know there was a basement.
There's a basement that goes under all three of the stores. Like
really?
Under Steiner Sales, both of their stores, cool. And then mine. That basement goes all the way across.
Really?
That's awesome.
You said you felt something down here.
Yeah.
Really?
You can't but it's nothing. No, I can't.
Yeah.
No.
Jeanette.
I'm not the type that can see things as much as some people. I feel it more if I touch walls.
Right. So. You were at the Sands Theater just now? Because I'm convinced something's going on there. This podcast started over there. Like the first 40-some episodes was at the Sands. Did we do yours over there?
No, you did mine at my shop.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You can do your shop. It was Dency and I, right?
Yeah.
Dency, you son of a... But I tell you what, Silver, I'd have to go set up, because that white table is what we used to carry around. We had to, before this studio existed, I'd have to set it all up, break it all down every time, right? Oh. Right. But I did not like being in that theater by myself at all. Like Teresa, the old director of the chamber, just gave me a key and said, just whenever, because it was closed because of COVID, just go ahead, Silver. I did not, man. It got to a point where I would make the guests stay with me until I was done breaking down. Even if I left the stuff there or whatever, you know what I mean? I'll come get it in the morning, whatever. I would not be there alone. Sean Kelly, did you go in the back of the stage?
No, we actually went and seen a movie.
Oh.
There was a bat flying around behind the screen, but yeah.
Oh, you're okay. Well, behind there, it's an old vaudeville stage, and there's little dressing rooms, like crazy, like little wooden dressing rooms. Did you see them when you were back there? Okay, where they scurry up there and change and scurry down. The one on the north, the north wall. Sean Kelly did the podcast. My buddy Sean's not superstitious or any of that. He's kind of walked around because he grew up in this town. That's the theater we all went to as kids, right? I'll tell you what, he came out from behind that stage while I was breaking down. His wife was with me. And, man, he was freaked out, and he would not go behind that stage anymore. Like, something was in that little dressing room that didn't jive with Sean.
Huh.
Matt Gordon, the director, his parents do, like, amateur, like, ghost, like, all the little gadgets and
we have all that.
Do you really? Well, they did something over there. And he had a video camera behind that stage, and at 3 a.m, the light, the back door to the north, clicks on and clicks off, right? Which wouldn't be weird, except there was no light bulb there.
Oh.
There was a light that just came on. If you ever see Matt Gordon, ask him about it. It's wild.
Well, but then I think, because I'm pretty sure Matt told me after further investigation, that light switch isn't even hooked up.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
well, ghosts are a lot into your electronics.
Right. That's how they
TV's turning on and off. And
right. But there was no light bulb there. And clearly on the video, you see a light go and off again. So,
wow.
And you're good. Most of the people that have been back there, that have worked there, my Ben Schreiner, I just saw him at a funeral, and he worked there as a kid, and he was like, oh yeah, it's haunted. So, yeah. Definitely something kind of cool. But before we get all that, we're going to get into some supernatural stuff, because I really do like this stuff, and you're big into it.
Yeah, my son-in-law's actually, his family, it's funny because my son-in-law doesn't believe in any of this. Right. Or he's scared of it, one of the two. But his family actually runs paranormal trackers.
Okay.
And they went on our run last year.
Oh, wow.
So it was pretty cool. They did some, with their ghost finding things at the cemetery last year. Right. So that was pretty cool.
Find anything?
No.
No? Nothing, huh?
No, and it's all the old wooden crosses. It sits behind somebody's house, and it looks like Pet Cemetery.
Yes.
You walk over this boarded walkway, and
Yes.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
And where's this at?
It's in LaPorte. It's really hidden.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay.
Yeah, ask us where it's at, we'll tell you.
Yeah. Are you ready to tell some stories?
Sure.
All right. You want to read them off for us?
So we have Christine, Riverdale, and House on Decatur.
All right. I'm excited for this episode. Why don't you go and pick one out, Carrie, my guest host?
Well, I'm going to pick a House on Decatur because it makes me think of Michael Myers.
Really?
Sorry.
You're good. You're good. I'm going to move this real quick. All right, we're good. All right. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Well, I'm a North Sider. I grew up on 24th and Decatur. And the house I lived in was haunted. And one night, my mom, she was pregnant, and she was going into labor, and it felt really strange that night. The house and everything got so dark, like the moon just disappeared, and everything got really dark. And she ended up losing the baby. Ooh. And it was weird because the neighbors told me all about this house, that it was an original farmhouse and that it had been haunted for years. And it had just, we'd noticed things, but nothing big. And the neighbors said, what happened? The sky went totally dark and it was only around the house.
What?
And the house went dark, but it was just the outside mainly to us that got dark. I mean, the lights got dim, but that was it.
So it's like if you're out in the middle of the country, dark. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Like you just can't see.
Yeah, we're right in the middle, right stadium is down the street. So
well, I guess Michael Myers, I've seen the movies, but he was on Decatur.
No, but there's this Michael Myers of Decatur that I follow on Facebook, and he's always walking around doing silly stuff.
Okay. Is Decatur is it a famous street by any chance or no?
No.
Oh, okay, just a
There's just a Decatur in like every state.
24th and Decatur, yeah.
and that's in what state? Here?
Yes.
In
Denver.
Denver.
Yes.
Okay. Right in the middle. That's kind of
by
crazy.
a Mile High Stadium.
And she lost a baby.
Yeah.
Wait, she was about to go in labor?
Yeah. And she ended up losing the baby. My dad called the ambulance, but by the time they got there,
like stillborn or is it?
The baby. I don't know. I was so young.
Okay.
I don't know. And all the paramedics come in, and
right.
You don't know. It was back in the 70s, so
right.
That's kind of crazy.
I was just a little kid then, so
right. Have you ever lived in somewhere you thought was haunted?
No.
Really? Never?
I don't think so.
In Pueblo, I had an apartment at the Belmont Square Apartments, and I had a roommate for a long time. It was a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. He moved out, so I got a 1-bedroom because one came open, which they never come open, right? Like a month into it, I get this guy's check in the mail, like his Social Security check or whatever it was. And so I go take it to the landlord, and I'm like, hey, this came, it's for him. And she's like, oh, he's not going to need it. He died. And I go, well, where did he die? And she's like, the hospital. And I could tell she's lying to me. I'm like, damn, really died in that apartment. And the craziest shit would happen in that apartment. Like, things would move on their own. Now, granted, back then I was a huge drinker. You know what I mean? So if it was haunted, he was trying to get to me. He might have just got frustrated because I thought it was me breaking this shit. I don't know. But it was crazy. Like, sometimes my bedroom door would just close. No windows were open. It would just close. I mean, the craziest things, like... But I never felt, like, threatened. It was weird. Like, so weird. I remember one time, we'd always go to someone's house after... I worked at a nightclub. We go to someone's place after and drink, a bunch of us after work, and we came to my place. Well, I cleaned the whole apartment, right? And I always had my Chicago Bulls hat on. And I had in the living room a coffee table, but it had a glass top, so I'd always leave a candle lit on top of it.
Yeah.
Right? So it smelled like not a single guy lived there, And I came back, and I opened the door to let everybody in, and I looked out, and my hat was on the coffee table, and that candle was up on the TV stand, my wooden TV stand, and I would have never left a lit candle. Yeah. I mean, stuff like that all the time would happen in this little apartment. But then again, I was drunk most of the time because I worked in a nightclub. So, who knows? The ghost might be like, you know what? Fuck it. We just live together now. This fat guy just lives here.
Just take a chair.
We just became best
friends. Just don't throw your leg over me at night when we're sleeping. Yeah, we'll be good.
Just give me a warning if you're drunk and do something weird, okay? Yeah. Because I got an eyeful last time, and, I've already died once. I don't want to do it twice, I begged for the underworld, so... Yeah, that's kind of crazy. crazy. Is that where you got your love for the supernatural?
No, it's always been with me.
Really?
Yeah.
What age do you think you started first becoming interested in that?
I'd probably say 6 or 7.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Like, how serious? I mean, like, just being curious, like a child's curious, or just...
No, I had an entity that followed me around and helped me a lot. I had a really bad childhood, so it helped me a lot, this entity did. And then I found out later in life the entity was a little boy named Christopher.
Really?
Yeah, so...
When did it stop following you?
He still does.
Oh, he still does?
Oh, yeah.
Still around?
He's my little angel.
What's up, Christopher?
Yeah, he's 7 years old. He died of Drano poisoning.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so...
When was this?
I don't remember when he said it was.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was all Ouija.
Oh, Ouija board.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, are you a Ouija board person?
We used to do it all the time when I was younger.
Really?
Yeah, me and my friends would all get together and do it.
I just watched that movie last night. I was raised Catholic, so we're scared of everything. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not a practicing Catholic, but anything with possession freaks me out. I will avoid that.
My daughter is the only one that I have found that he will just go nuts. He'll just it's spinning, and he talks so fast that we have to have somebody else sit there and write it and decipher it. And so it's something I can't do. I can't spell that fast,
Right.
And my daughter just hates it because she says her hair on her arms comes up, and she doesn't like it.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
That is nuts. You guys used to do it all the time as kids. Mm-hmm. Anything weird?
No.
Never.
No. Not that I can remember.
In the movie last night, I'm not very familiar with them. There was the 3 rules: never do it alone, never do it in a graveyard, and always say goodbye. Are those the 3 rules, or is that just for the movie?
I suggest don't do it alone.
Yeah.
You should never do it alone.
Why don't you do it alone, just out of curiosity?
Possession. Yeah.
Really? It can possess you then?
Yeah. You don't want to ever do it alone. And you want to give it a clue. Like with Christopher, we have a certain word. If he doesn't say that word, you say goodbye. Because you know it's somebody else.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Huh.
And we
Makes
always
sense.
know Christopher because he laughs all the time. It's always the ha ha he he ha ha he he. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he wants you to joke with him all the time. So yeah, it's
That's wild.
I haven't talked to Christopher a long time, but yeah. He's
Huh.
It's odd.
So when you say goodbye, that closes the door, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You don't want to leave any doors open. In fact, my planchette and my Ouija boards, I have 2, but neither one of them are near each other. It's like a telephone. Don't leave it off the hook.
Really?
Also, don't get a used board because you're going to get whatever's on it.
Somebody
really?
else's.
Yeah. You always get a new board.
Really? So something can attach to that board and fall. Huh.
Yep, so next time you're at Goodwill, don't be picking it up.
Yep. Don't be
No.
picking it up.
I don't touch them. I'm scared to death of them. I didn't like them, There was a girl I dated in Pueblo, Jen, and she had one, I guess, at one time. She was telling me, but it was like a wooden iron one. Like, it was someone made this thing.
Oh, wow.
It's not a Parker Brothers one. And I told her, where is it right now? She's like, in my parents' basement. I'm like, do they know you put it in their basement? The portal for hell is in their basement next to their old jumper suits, She's like, oh, yeah, I told them. I was like, no thing. That part freaks me out, I do love supernatural stuff. Travel Channel, that's all I do is watch in the month of October. All the haunted places and all that, you know what I mean? Paranormal caught on video stuff. I dig it. But man, I am so weird about going to an actual haunted house because I don't want to attach and come home with me. You know what I mean?
No, it's funny you mention haunted house. Just the haunted houses,
Yeah.
where the people scare you and stuff.
Oh,
I
sure.
refuse to go into those.
Really?
And people are like, you're into the scary stuff, but you won't go into a haunted house?
Right.
Yeah, because I'll knock the crap out of somebody.
Yeah.
Somebody will come out of a hole and it's bap.
Right.
So,
My ex-girlfriend and I went to the one in Denver, the 13th.
13th floor.
13th floor.
Yeah.
I haven't been to it. Is it good?
It's really, we should all go take a trip.
My
you know what I mean?
family goes there all the time, my kids. Yeah.
We'll get a group and we'll go. It's a good time. I went with Patty, but it was during COVID, so none of the people were scared. It was basically the animatronics and everything they've done to decorate it is really cool. I mean, you got to appreciate the work they put into
Terror
it.
of the Corn's pretty good, too.
Which one?
Terror of the Corn at the
Oh,
Anderson Farms.
that's been
They're one
years
of our
ago.
backers.
Oh, we've
Really?
been to that one.
Yeah,
It was a
they're
good
one of our people. They give us
Really?
swag for the riders and
Right.
for the mornings when we send them off on their way. So.
On the 13th floor, we were walking through, and they do have some people, like, there's a part where it's got, like, mist, like, it's a mist on the floor, so you can't see the floor. You're just kind of walking. And Patty had my hand. She made me go first. And there's mirrors everywhere. I ate shit on this mirror so hard. I mean, I ran into that thing, and she started like it hurt. Like, I wanted to cry, like be like stupid. But I just met this girl, so I'm like, I don't, Then he cried like a little girl, So, but yeah, it was cool. I want to go check out some more. I just haven't had a chance to go
Not
down.
me.
You don't like them.
No, the last haunted house I went into. Well, I went to Terror of the Corn, and I'm claustrophobic.
Right.
And they had this thing, it was blow up, but you had to go through it.
Yeah.
I didn't know how far it was, and I refused. They had to shut it down so I could go through it.
I mean, it looks like a big vagina, right? It's
Pretty
like
much.
yeah.
You gotta walk through. Yeah, no.
It really does. I've seen it. Like
I came out, I don't want to go back in. Yeah,
that's
that was.
why I tested. I was like,
Yep.
this is standard. I promise you.
My kids took me to one that was in a semi, and they shut off all the lights, and things would shine at you.
Right.
And I didn't even care about what blew at me. Just
Yeah.
get me out of here. It was too small. I could feel the walls on my arms and stuff. I said, get me out of. My kids had to walk me.
Yeah.
Dang.
There's one in Detroit. That's you're good. That's a full city block. It's an old warehouse.
Oh, wow.
And it's on those. They always have the best haunted houses in America on the Travel Channel. And this thing is massive. It's massive, but it's all it is a haunted house. Like for a month out of the year they use it, and then they work on it for the rest of the year. But this thing is huge, man. It's so, and there's like a line around the block to get in it, man. They're just
My
it's
sister ran one out in Peyton, Colorado for years.
Have you ever seen the Moundsville Penitentiary on that Travel Channel too?
I might.
It's in West Virginia, but it's a penitentiary and it's right in the middle of town. They don't use it anymore. You can do tours all year round, but at Halloween they do special tours, and you have to actually sign a waiver because they can grab you and they can put you in a cell and take you away from your people. And
Yes.
Oh, heck no.
Yeah.
No.
I've never been there.
Not unless they want to be stomped to the ground.
Yeah. I bet they get punched a lot. I bet that's.
I bet
In
they
West
do.
Virginia, most of the haunted houses you have to sign a waiver because they can jump out of trees at you. It's pretty
Really?
crazy out that
I
way.
think the coolest one I seen was done by middle schoolers, and they did it out in Oklahoma.
Oh yeah.
And they have you come into the park and they show you this movie, and of course the chainsaw guys are coming out of the, as you're walking.
Yeah.
But they have you walk around this pier. There's a pole, like a light pole in the middle of the pier. They have you walk around this pier, and it's all foggy. And all of a sudden, zombies are coming up from the water, grabbing the pier. And then you go walking, and you see this bride come out of the water. You could see her dress flowing in the water. She walks out of the water. Then
Like
all of
her
a sudden
train?
disappears.
Okay.
And
middle
they
schoolers
told me
did
how
that?
they did it. Yeah, it was so awesome. The pier was underwater, so that's why you could see her dress.
Oh.
So she was able to walk on it.
Sure.
But I thought, wow, that was
sense.
pretty good for kids.
That is
They did
cool.
an awesome job.
No, they're fun. But like an actual like maybe haunted house. No, I'm out, man. I don't.
I did that one because it was in a park and it was okay.
Yeah. No. I mean, if you know how to get rid of them, good for you. So I don't know how to get rid of them. You know what I mean? I just now I got to be
Go hug a
roommates.
tree.
I go hug a tree. Yeah, I have a bunch in my backyard. So, what did you think about that one, Carrie?
I think it's a little creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah. The just your house got dark kind of area. Yeah.
Yeah. But then again, I mean, it's I don't know. If you watch the Travel Channel, which I should send them this, be like, I have pumped your channel like too much on my podcast. Man, there's a lot of stuff like that happens all the time. It's.
Well, and again, that was a really old house too.
Yeah. So it's probably seen some
Gone now, but
crazy stuff. My grandmother, actually my great aunt, her little sister told me the story in Pueblo on Ormond Street. When they first came over from Mexico, it was a bunch of them who lived in this house. It was cheap, so they got in, And my great aunt Louise, who was the oldest daughter, had a friend over one day. Well, first of all, like little weird stuff would start happening, right? And so one day, Louise had a friend over, and she woke up because her friend was just digging her fingernails into Aunt Louise. And Aunt Louise was like, "What are you doing?" She looked up, and there's just a T-shirt. It's no head, just a T-shirt, right? So they freak out, right? They leave. They go over to a relative's house or whatever. Carmen and Ray and a bunch of the older boys go to get the house. They're going to just not, fuck this. They're not staying there, right? So I guess when they went back to get her things, stuff started flying off the shelves. They started, during the middle of the day, she said, this place was stupid haunted. So it turns out, before they moved in, years ahead, it was like a, I don't know, like a cat house and a drug house, or, you know what I mean? A lot of crime, gambling, whatever. People died in this house violently. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's why it was so cheap. That's why they could afford it. So, But yeah, they swear up and down. And like I said, I come from Catholics, so if they confess to that, it's
They
probably
believed in it.
Yeah. So yeah. All right, I liked it. So I'm into this stuff. We have two more, Christine and Riverdale. I'm going to pick Christine before Riverdale just because you've already kind of talked about this a little bit. So I want to hear about her haunted car, correct?
Yes.
All right.
Well, so she didn't always have the clown on her. She did have a different clown on her at one time, but when I bought her, I've always been different. I designed my last Jeep that I had with I actually paid for this character. It was a skeleton that was a jester, and on the hood he was throwing dice. On one side he was driving in a Jeep, on the other side he was on a motorcycle.
Okay.
And it was an all mauve instead of pink. It was mauve.
Yeah.
And so when I got Christine, well, just because of the crazy stuff that happened with her, the guys didn't like her that I bought her from, and I took her over there to have her repaired, and I decided I'm going to put this clown on her. I thought it'd be cool,
Right.
And I put the original It on there. I took her over there, told them it's overheating, and they had her 6 months.
Dang.
And they said, we can't. They replaced the whole cooling system. We don't know what's wrong with her. And, some of the guys don't like the clown. And, well, I don't care. Fix my car.
Yeah.
And
they didn't want to be around it?
Nope.
Okay.
So they sent the car back to me, told me, if you could find somebody that could fix it, we'll help. We'll pay for it.
Wow.
Well, she really didn't like those guys. They dropped chemicals on her hood and just destroyed the clown.
On purpose, you think?
I think so.
Okay.
So I took her to Corvette Connection, and he looked at it and he says, oh, there's a lot wrong with this car, And he knew Christine because we already started having weird happenings with her. And so he told the people, you got to fix this and this. They're saying, well, that's not covered. Oh, no, this is covered. Anyway, $20,000 later.
Holy cow.
She's almost a brand new car. She's 22 years old.
Is it Corvette or Camaro?
Corvette.
Okay.
So anyway, one night I'm singing at the USO show, and I'm rushing because I'm running late. And I didn't see the speed bump, and I hit it pretty hard. And I get there, and I'm looking underneath and think, whew, no leaks, And
right.
So I go inside, I come back out, and I get in the seat, and all of a sudden the seat goes, brrr, it throws me into the steering wheel. And I'm like, what the heck?
What year is this car?
2001.
Okay. Is it electric seats or is it actual
they're electric.
Okay. All right. Wow.
So then I put on the seatbelt, and it literally rips me to the back. It's tight as can be. So I call my boyfriend up. I said, you're not going to believe this. And he's laughing, I get home, and he says, I believe you. And I said, yeah, quit humor me. He goes, no, go look at your coat. I had actually like the one I have, a Victorian coat with the lace. The lace was shredded.
Really?
So the next morning I went out. She wouldn't start. I said, what the heck? So I took the battery in. They said, nothing's wrong with the battery. Brought it back. Now, the whole time I'm sitting there, because we've always called her Christine. I said, Christine, I'm so sorry. I didn't see that bump. I'm so sorry. Got in. Vroom.
She just wanted an apology.
Yes, she wanted an apology. And that's not the first thing she's done. I mean, she's gotten mad and now it's a 2-seater, but she's gotten mad at my boyfriend and shut the air off on his side, or shut the heat off on his side of the car. If she's gotten mad at him.
Really?
Yeah. And the next day, actually, because you mentioned the motor on the seat, now's where I get scientific.
Okay.
Like, yeah. Maybe my lace got caught on the motor and that's what did it. But it wasn't. So
you try and justify it in your mind.
Yeah. So then the guy, I thought, I'm going to put another clown on her. So Color Ship came out and he put the clown on. And he says, here's your bill, but I had to take off 37 cents. And I was like, okay, why 37 cents? He goes,
666.
Who else but Christine would come up with 666 as her bill?
Yeah, that's wild.
And my friend Jeanette, she's my bestie, and she didn't believe me. Oh, yeah. So we're at the bike blessing, and there's only 2 cars there, me and another one. And the minister goes around and blesses. The Native American goes around and blesses. And I get in her. Well, everybody's revving their engines. So there's only 2 of us cars. Well, for some reason, she thinks she's a Harley. So I'm sitting there, you know, putting on the gas, and she goes, boom, 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 boom. And I'm like looking around. Boom, 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 boom. And I shut her off, and I looked at my friend. I said, did you hear that? She goes, I heard it. And then I call my boyfriend. I think something's wrong with the car. I turn it on. Vroom, vroom. Okay. And my friend said, no, I heard it. I heard it. I heard it.
Yeah.
We went out to lunch, came back out. She refused to start.
Really?
She had to be towed home. And
No reason
2 days
why.
later, 2 days later, she started right up. She was mad. So last time we went to a blessing, we told the Christian minister, do not go near her. No problems. She went home. She's okay with the Native American guy coming around, but she does not want a Christian minister to get near her.
You think she's...
I've had her checked by 3 mediums.
Okay.
And they've said that it's more of a trickster. It likes to play with you. She's not like the real Christine. She's not going to kill you or anything.
Yeah.
But she
That's good to know.
she does she does like to play with you.
Right.
And there was another time she put a whole security lockout on me and wouldn't let me in. And my friend came over and, excuse the way I say this, but this is exactly what he did. He went up and he says, really? He says, look, you little bitch. I know that's not what's wrong with you. And he checks her out. And he says, her starter's bad. I said, oh, okay. He says, he started her right up, cleared the security. What's nice about this car, computers all in the car, so you can clear everything. He says, take her tomorrow to your son. My son owns Christian Brothers. He says, take her over there and have him fix a starter. These are the perils of Christine. So the tow truck driver comes and gets her. We confirm it's going to Christian Brothers in Brighton. Address, everything. Hour later, I get a call from Discount Tire. We have a Corvette here that needs tires and wheels. I said no, because she wouldn't start that morning, so I had to tow her. Yeah. I said, no, she's supposed to be over at Christian Brothers getting a starter. He says, well, you want us to drive her over? I said, drive her over? She started? He goes, yeah. So he drives her over to Christian Brothers. My son, strong Christian, he says, Mom, this car's been starting all week. I said, you wait till Monday. He goes, oh, come on, Mom. I said, no, you wait till Monday. Monday he calls me up. Guess I'm putting a starter in the car. She waited till the last minute.
Really?
And she does, when she gets mad, she'll pull stuff like that. She'll throw codes at you. You know, she's had all this stuff repaired, but she'll get mad and throw codes at you, and she'll do all kinds of stuff.
So I want to ask the basic question I've been wondering is, did you know this was a possessed car when you bought it, or did you buy this car and then realize something was up with it? Really?
Yes. Now, who else should own this crazy car?
Yeah. What was the first thing that happened? What's the first thing that you noticed? You're like, huh, what's that about?
Actually, the first thing was the USO show.
Really?
Yeah. That was the first time that anything, because otherwise you think it's a new car. Every little thing you're going to hear. Mm-hmm. You know, and we had already had trouble with the people we bought it from because we called them up and said, we're in Lyman. How do you put gas in this thing? Because we couldn't get the door button to work.
Oh.
And they hated that car with a passion. And they said, well, bring her back in. I said, I can't. I'm in Lyman. I need gas. So I ended up calling Corvette, and there's a little release in the trunk that you pull in.
Oh, wow.
That's how we got gas in her.
Megan Orcutt, her husband is our mechanic at work, Matt. And do you know Megan?
No.
Anyway.
Maybe. I don't know.
She was on the podcast, but they have a car that they swear up and down is haunted, but they tracked down the old owner, this woman whose husband, I think, is the thing that's attached to this car, right? And Matt swears up and down the craziest shit happens with this car. And so I never made it a point to go over there and look, but when they called the, I might be getting this a little wrong, but they called the woman and said, hey, this car is, whatever. Well, it was my husband's, and she didn't know. She just said it was my husband's, that's why I sold it. And they're like, well, something's wrong with its ass. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, he said this the craziest shit happens.
Well, the reason we called her Christine is because she was at an auction in California. And the original Christine came from California.
Oh, okay.
So we decided to name her Christine.
Gotcha.
But it isn't the first haunted car I've had in my life, so, but I never noticed it.
Right.
we just did it for fun, but then she ended up really being haunted. So it's
So is that why you put all of the Stephen King stuff on
I'm
it?
a big Stephen King fan. So
it's
if
like
you notice,
driving Stephen King tribute.
if you look at her valve stems, they're silver bullets. Mm-hmm. You look at her back; she's got the original Christine on her back end. She's
Pennywise. And
Yep.
Then you have the license plate, Christine, don't you?
Yeah. That's supposed to be the replica of the original. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
So, yeah, I'm a big Stephen King fan.
Does she let her picture be taken, or is it a problem?
Oh my God, she loves it.
I've taken it.
People have asked me.
Yeah.
Yeah, people have asked me all the time. I mean, it doesn't matter where I go. Can I take a picture? Can I take a picture? It's like, sure.
She was parked one day in front of Steiner's Hills, and I went out and I ran over there. And I
Oh,
was
she
like,
loves it. I
look at
swear,
this car.
if she
And I would
could,
just
she'd
take a
put up her
picture.
tires and do this. Yeah.
Huh. That's wild stuff, man.
Yeah.
I love it.
she can be a handful.
And so those are all just like decals. Like, so,
Yeah.
so Pennywise.
It's a wrap.
Okay, Okay.
Because that way, if we do ever sell her, which I doubt, but if we ever did, the wrap could be taken.
Because I thought that Pennywise was airbrushed.
No, they did such an awesome job.
Yeah.
They really did.
Did you drive it here?
Yeah, she's
Outside.
out front.
Well, we might take a picture with her to put on the podcast.
But actually, the Mostly Ghostly ride, a Corvette came, and she's real competitive. Oh boy, she sees another Corvette. I'll have her in cruise control mode, and she speeds up. She's real competitive. So this Corvette came in, and the lady, I know her, Melissa, she said, I went to step out of my car, and she said, I told my husband, stay in here. And he's like, why? And she says, I have to ask her if it's okay to park next to her. And she says, Christine said it was okay, so we parked there.
So, I'll ask this question. How did it come to, do you have any idea how it came to become
I have not a clue.
the entity that's, how do I want to say this? This possession.
I have not a clue because the only history I could find on the car is it had 2 owners and it was in an auction.
Really?
She had 38,000 original miles on her when I bought her. Now she has 99.
Did you look up the old people who owned them? Does it tell you who owned it?
No, they don't. Well, it kind of told me there were 2 owners. The what do they call that? Carfax?
Carfax.
Yeah.
But they won't tell you.
She'd
who
never
they
been
are.
in any accidents or anything.
But one of the people died, is what I'm asking.
Oh, I don't know. That was hard to find out.
I was going to say, I wonder if you look up her VIN number.
It still just shows
See
a
who-
Carfax report.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Huh. There's got to be a way to find that.
There
though,
has
right?
to be a way.
Yeah.
I don't know, and I don't know.
Do
Well,
you-
if anybody out there knows a way,
Yeah.
you let us know.
Put it in the comments below.
Yeah.
All right. What did you think about that one, Carrie?
I like it. Christine was the first self-driving vehicle.
Yep.
So
She
Yeah.
thinks she can. She still needs me.
That's a crazy show, too. What's your favorite Stephen King novel?
I'd probably have to say that one.
Christine? Okay.
Yeah.
I was a big fan of it.
you liked it. Did you like the second It? Did you see it?
I haven't checked it out yet. It's good?
I haven't seen the second
See,
one.
the
but-
reason I had the second It put on, because I had the first It put on, is because I'm one of those kids. The first It scared me. I would,
Right.
Screw you, I ain't going to that gutter.
Yeah.
But this
Yeah.
one, I would have been stupid enough. Because he had that cutesy smile. My
Yeah, I
daughter
wasn't-
hates the picture. She says his teeth freak
It
her
didn't
out.
scare me, the new one, but the original It scared
Yeah,
the
what-
bejesus
what's
out
his
of me.
name?
Pennywise.
No, the actor.
Tim Curry.
Tim Curry.
Curry.
He's such a good actor.
Yeah, he is a good actor. He's crazy.
Well, our
good.
guest room is nothing but clowns.
Oh, really?
And we
That's-
have a big Pennywise.
That's creepy as
Stand up
shit.
Pennywise.
Do people come visit you often?
That's how we keep some guests away.
I bet
You don't
Good
mind
idea.
staying in a room that's full of clowns.
Yeah, you break into that one. It's
We
kinda
actually have he probably stands about this high. He's hand-painted jester.
funny.
His
Right.
face is all hand-painted. Yeah, so it's-
Have you seen that clown hotel that's haunted?
yeah, I want to go to that.
You're out of your mind. Have you seen it, Carrie? I Google it. It's on one of the shows.
Yeah, it's blue, like a blue building.
And it's
yeah.
next to a cemetery.
Oh, is
Right?
it?
Yes, it's right next to a
Oh,
cemetery.
I want to go see that.
And
That's
it's a
so
clown
cool.
hotel, and it's got clowns all over the place. And they got video of those damn things moving.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. It's on one of the travel channel. The travel channel.
I'm gonna have to look at that now.
Send Daddy some more bastards.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look at that.
But yeah, it's dude. Not for love or money, but I'd stay in that damn. No hell. No.
Huh.
So, yeah, it's what is it? Utah? No, it's over in the
I
desert.
can't remember. Yeah.
New
thought
Mexico,
it was-
maybe, or
I can't remember.
It's a state you don't want to be in the first fucking place. You know what I mean? Let alone at a clown hotel. So, all right. No, I love that. That's the story you told us at the museum meeting, I believe. You kind of not really got into it, but you kind of said, "Here's what we're doing. Here's what you." Yeah. So, I love it. So, what did you like it? Yeah,
I like that story.
Yeah, that's good. I dig it, man. So, we got one left. You're doing really good. Like I said, I was super excited. You're not disappointing. I'm into it. This last one, maybe I missed it because I sent you the Halloween episode from us last year. You said you watched it.
Yes.
Did somebody bring up Riverdale on that? I don't think they did. Did they?
No, I don't.
Someone brought up, Rick Stroh brought up one. There's a haunted school out here. I'll get back to you on that one because the first time I ever heard about it, Jen Nebb and Rick Stroh on the podcast started talking about this old school that's haunted, and Rick had went out there and a car had followed him, like chasing him.
Oh wow!
And I mean, Rick said he was hauling ass, and this thing was on his ass the whole time. Like, no one's got that great of reflexes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's how it came out. I didn't know what Riverdale was. But you and I were.
Riverdale's one of the most haunted roads in the United States.
I had no idea. When you and I were messaging back and forth about you doing this, you were like, "It's interesting because I've been down Riverdale Road." So I was like, "I don't know."
We lived 2 blocks away. We lived 2 blocks away.
Are you familiar?
Is that the one that y'all were just talking about?
You know where? Yeah, you know where the flea market is?
The Mile High?
Okay, you know how? Yeah, you know how you go down to Colorado?
Mm-hmm.
And when you turn at the 7-Eleven there, it's that first light, and that takes you right onto Riverdale. That's where the gates of hell are.
All right. Well, you know what? Let's hear the story.
Yes, please.
So anyway, you turn there, and that's supposed to be the gates of hell. Riverdale is known for the Camaro. I mean, you know, there's a lot of them throughout the country like that. The Camaro that flashes his lights,
right.
You know. The lady in white, don't pick her up, you know. They do have the Jogger Road, where a jogger was hit and killed.
Right. And
there were 2... One woman was killed and her body was dumped there. The other young lady, I think she was killed on Riverdale on 120th. I actually have her forgot her name, but I have her stuff. So anyway, my grandson and I, it's a tradition. We go look at Halloween lights and we go search for ghosts.
How old is your grandson?
He'll be 16 this month.
Okay, that's cool. All right.
Yeah. All right. So we were with our friend Art and we decided, okay, we're going to go ghost hunting tonight on Riverdale. And we had heard about this girl that was killed. So we went looking for her memorial. And it's just past the Adams County Fairgrounds. And we go past there and we get out and we're looking at the memorial where there's a kind of a tree there. And it was dark. There's a tree. And we get up to the tree and all of a sudden this breeze, wind just starts picking up and blowing at us. And my grandson and I are looking. And I see this man coming toward us, but I get this feeling of like dread because I'm an empath. So I get that. I get this feeling of darkness and dread. And I'm like, not much scares me, but I'm like, we got to leave.
Yeah.
And I looked at my grandson. I said, do you see what I see? He goes, that man coming toward us. I said, then you see it too. I said, Art, we're leaving. Art's like, no, we're going to look at it right on. I said, no, we're not. I said, I'm not subjecting my grandson to this. I said, we are going to the car.
Right.
We went to the car. And I mean, the breeze was just the dread. It's hard to explain. It was overwhelming.
Right.
And so the next day, my grandson and I are talking. I said, okay, scientifically here. There could have been a homeless camp there.
Sure.
And somebody was walking toward us. It was dark. Yeah. Let's go check it out during the day. We got over there. Same feeling of dread. We looked over there. All there was a waterfall and a bush. So there's no way anybody, because the water's right there,
sure,
could have been walking toward us. And we still got that feeling of dread.
Right.
And now it just, every time I go by there, I just get that dark feeling.
Right.
But the breeze started coming up, but it wasn't as bad as it was that night. But
right.
The breeze started coming up, and we're looking at each other going, okay, this is freaky.
Wow.
Like I said, I still have kind of a skeptic, I go check it out scientifically, right. And there was no answer for that.
That's wild.
Yeah.
There's a podcast I love called Monsters Among Us. It's by Derek Hayes. He's on the Travel Channel. Anyway, the podcast, I love it so much because they do exactly what you just did. People call in, they leave their stories on his answering machine. He plays them, and he kind of says, okay, well, here's what might have happened. He tries to debunk it a little bit.
Yeah.
But then he goes, or it might have been this. And then he goes into the supernatural side of it about what they witnessed or what he feels they might have just encountered. The podcast is amazing. But I think that's cool you do that. You try and debunk it a little bit like, okay, well, let's put our flipping hats. Like, what
I debunk my own stuff, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's cool. I mean, right?
Right.
I didn't even ask you, Kira. Are you a skeptic or do you believe in this kind of stuff?
So I do believe in spirits.
Okay.
Like I don't necessarily believe in ghosts, like physical. But I definitely believe that there's spirits, that
right.
There's things hanging out.
Yeah,
Right.
we were at a friend's house because my friend Art was helping him cleanse his house, and something in his house grabbed me. He
Really?
grabbed me by the arm, and I said, "You let me go now."
Right.
And he finally let me go, but he scratched me as he let me go. But
Really?
I was like, okay.
Episode 5. Sean Kelly, my friend that I said wouldn't go back and find that stage.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember telling we graduated in '94 together, and I moved to Pueblo.
Oh,
and
you're
came
young.
Back. Thank you, Silver.
I'm an old fart.
My new favorite guest. He lived in a haunted, and he tells stories. He's in a band, and they do their practice in the basement. And whatever this thing was not nice, but it hated the drummer.
Drummers get such a bad rap.
But I mean, the drummer at one point in time got up and just walked out of the house, and they're in the middle of a song, and he's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" So he came back the next day, and Sean's like, "You mind telling me what happened?" He goes, "Something threw me out of my chair. Something pushed him out of his little stool he was sitting on." And he goes, "Never again." And then Sean goes on for that whole episode. It's a great episode on the crazy stuff that happened in this house. Like when they tried to move out, there was like this massive raven that just kind of stared at him the whole time. I mean, it's crazy. The story was nuts, but it was.
I have to check that one out.
Yeah.
You said 5?
Sean Kelly is the.
Sean Kelly.
Yeah, you have to find Sean.
Yeah,
Kelly.
I was in maintenance for a while in the Dever Technical College.
Okay.
The 5th and 6th floors were haunted.
Okay.
And 2 of my girls came up and they said, "We can't get the floors done. We're scared." And I said, "Oh, come on." So I went up there. I said, "Look, you either let these girls work or you pick up a mop and a rag and start helping them."
Yeah.
And after that, they had no problem.
That's fine.
You set them straight.
Yep.
She did.
That's the way,
Lay the
to
smack
me,
down, Silver.
my belief is if you were bad in life, you're going to be bad in death.
Yeah.
If you're
Sure.
good in life, you're going to be good in life. And
Right.
you can't back down to the bad entity. You need to face them and tell them, "Oh, no, I don't think so."
But
You
isn't
know?
that the big thing they tell you in a haunted? If you're having a haunting, is to first tell them you're not welcome here,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You need to go. You're not welcome in this house. So, yeah, that's crazy.
Oh, yeah, you go to my house, I mean, nobody knows what faith I am because I've got a mezuzah on the front door, a mezuzah on the back door. I've got.
What's a mezuzah?
It's a Jewish blessing, house blessing.
Okay.
It's got pieces of the Torah inside.
Okay.
And there's one on my front and back door. Then there's a broom. There's bells. There's the evil eye. Nothing comes in my house.
Nice. It's warded.
You bet.
And she's got the Indian.
Yep, and I
Yeah.
got the Indian outside.
All right. Riverdale Road. I'm tempted. I'm almost tempted. Although the videos I watched said that the lady was killed. It was her husband who killed her, correct? And I believe in the...
I thought that they said she picked her up at the convenience store.
Maybe it is. Well,
Yeah.
the video I'd watched was
Marcy
obviously...
something or other.
Oh, I don't know the name, but that a husband had killed his wife, and I want to say a child.
Oh, you might be thinking of David Wolpert, because the Wolpert mansion was where the gates of hell are.
Okay.
He had, the legend is that he was doing satanic rituals and killing his chickens off.
Exactly right.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
what it
David
was. Yes.
Wolpert.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he burned down the mansion.
Right.
And all that was left was the gates of hell. Yeah. And see, my daughter
Okay.
can tell you some of the stories for that because my daughter's a police officer for Adams County.
Really?
And in fact, the hanging tree, kids hung a noose around it,
Right.
which I have a picture I'll show you. But we caught an orb on that. But they cut that off because the kids, she said they have so much trouble with the kids.
Sure.
They had to board up a hole of a tree because they'd be killing animals and stuff on the
Really?
tree. And yeah, it's horrible. And the kids are crazy around Halloween. They're all daring each other to go to Riverdale, and so,
Sure.
yeah, it's
Well,
crazy.
It's what it is for kids.
Yeah.
They don't. They're immortal, right?
Yeah.
There's also on the Travel Channel. There's a tree back east somewhere, and they call it Satan's tree or something. So what it was back in the slave days, this is the tree they hang slaves from. So they said
That's what they said about that tree. Yeah.
Yeah, well, this thing is like you touch it, it's bad. It's bad juju. You know what I mean? If you touch this tree, they actually put like fencing around it, like wrapped it in metal fencing, so you can't touch the damn thing. Like that's how much they believe that this thing's bad shit. You know? But yeah, kind of crazy stuff out there. Now, I was a kid. We used to go to Messick's out here. It's a little town outside of town. It's 7-8 miles. But I'd go to Snyder, hang a right. And it's the creepiest little town. There's a church there that burned down, but the stonework is still there. And it's got a cemetery in the back. We used to go there and freak each other out. And, you know what I mean? Would I do it now? Hell no.
See, it's crazy because, well, my boyfriend and I went to a cemetery out by the Badlands, I guess they call it. Right out here. Oh, I can't think of the little town, but it's out this way, almost toward Wyoming. It's like a half hour from Wyoming.
Right.
And we checked out the cemetery. He wouldn't walk in there.
No.
He said the children were everywhere.
Yeah. No, that was
and
good.
he wouldn't walk in there. And the dogs wouldn't even go in there.
Hard pass.
Yeah.
I
went in there, but cemeteries don't bother me. So
you said your dog at the San Cedar has nothing to do with that place, right? Your dog at the San Cedar?
Yeah, she well, she was really good. And she walked, around the concessions and everything. We went down. She got kind of by the front of the stage, but when we went to go to the side, she was not having it.
No.
She went up the stairs, and there was something about the room where the movies are shown. Freaked her out. I had to carry her up to the apartment.
Really?
Yeah,
she was not having it. She just... But then when I took her back downstairs, she was completely fine.
My kids. I call my hairy kids. Yeah, they won't go down the basement. My boyfriend said, there's little ones down the basement. And I said, okay, I don't feel them down there. But we joke about it anyway because do you ever see, the heck? It's the movie where the lady goes to the Airbnb. And I'll remember it later.
Is it newer or older?
Yeah, it's new, and I can't for the life of me remember the name. But she goes to this Airbnb, and there's this basement in the Airbnb. And it just goes on, and then there's crazy people living in there. And
oh, no.
So we have in our basement this weird door that looks kind of like that.
Okay.
And we opened it up when we first looked at the house, and we're looking, and it looks like it's just dirt walls, and it looks like it just keeps going. And we're like, Barbarian, that's the name of the movie.
Huh.
And we're like, we have the
Haven't heard of it.
Barbarian basement. We're looking at each other.
Right.
And I said, you go in there. And he goes, oh, great, put me in there. I said, I ain't going in there. So he's got the flashlight, and he found the pull string and turned the lights on. It just goes to the sewer to the end of the... You'll have to watch Barbarian. It's pretty crazy.
When I bought my house in 2006, my basement's not finished. It's all concrete. But crackheads living there before me, so there's like chalk paintings on the walls and stuff. Right? I love the artwork because it's But I remember getting a beer one day, and my fridge is here, and if you look back, that's where the basement is. It's creepy. My basement's kind of creepy. And I just looked down, I'm like, hello? I don't know why I did that. Because if something answers me, it's going to be on.
You'll be out the door.
Like, I have enough beer in me where I might want to scrap, but I'm going to pee a little bit. Let's not bullshit, right? So
I think
crazy.
we all would.
Yeah. I don't know why. Like, hello? Hello?
He's one of those that be killed first in
go
the
hide
movie.
in Larry's
Yeah.
basement.
That's what it is. The drunk fat one, like...
You'll be dead first, yeah.
Just wait for him to come home one day and be like, hello.
What's that movie? It's a scary movie, the funny one, where there always like the black guy gets it first. Because the black guy's like, I'm not going because I'm always the one that gets it first. He's like, yeah. I guess you start to notice that like black people die first in movies.
Do
in
they?
horror movies.
Is it Scream?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never seen
Because they always show what you're thinking, like, okay, the house is dark, but you still go in, you dummy. Just call the cops and sit outside.
It was a scary movie. It was a spoof on it. It was the Wayans brothers. Like, no,
the
brothers die first. Always the brothers die first. I ain't going down. So, all right. We got 3 great stories. Silver, what we do is we rock, paper, scissors to see which one of us has to guess first, okay? I forgot. Are you a 3-pumper or a 4-pumper?
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Yeah, it's the devil's work. How do you rock, paper, scissors? Do you shoot? Rock, paper, scissors, boom.
Yeah.
Right? No shoot?
No.
You're doing it
Because
the right
our
way.
family does it all the time. So.
Yeah. It's weird. Man. Did you know there's 2 different ways to do it?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
There's not. Larry just made it up.
Oh, bullshit. It's the 3-foot. That's the 3-pumper, 4-pumper. Bull. That's
Oh, okay.
But
No, we just
these 3. We're doing 3. Fair enough?
Yeah, we just 1,
Oh,
2, 3.
I'll see if I can.
You know what? I want to do 4 because you're like handicapped. Rock, paper, scissors, handicapped, okay? All right, ready?
Oh.
All right.
So I get to go first?
I go first. Unless you want to go first.
Wait, didn't I? Didn't it,
You won.
Oh, so you have to go first because
Yeah.
you're the loser.
Yeah. Because, I think she knew that. She just wanted to call me loser. That's the shitty part there, okay? That's her little silly games that old Ankrum likes to play. Christine Riverdale and House on Decatur. Now, I think, I'm going to say Christine's a true story. Okay? Yeah. Because we've talked about it before. I think that's true. I'm going to say Riverdale is a true story as well. I'm sorry.
No, she can't tell you whether or not because I still have to guess. So
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, well...
Well, we gave
Christine.
one away.
Okay.
So we know Christine is true. I was
Okay.
going to say it was true anyways.
Okay. I'm going to say Riverdale is also true. The way you tell that story... Well, that's tough, though. I'm going to say Riverdale is true. I know you've been on that road. It might be partially made up. I get it because the guy might not have been there. But who knows? I'm going to say House on Decatur is a partially not true story. Maybe some... I don't know if... Total darkness. Maybe your mom had a miscarriage. I don't know, but I think there's something different with that. So I'm going to take House in Decatur. What do you think?
So I'm actually really spot on in line with your thoughts. I was going to say House in Decatur too.
Okay.
Only because I feel like she would know what happened to the baby.
I was young.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
was
when you
really
were older,
young.
you would have asked.
Yeah.
No, not my family. They're screwy.
Maybe not. But I still think House on Decatur.
All right. Before we do that, I do want to say one more time, thank you to the Brush Emporium. I do always say thank you because this is a cool little studio that we built down here.
Yes,
It's
it
awesome
is.
to have a home for the Bullhucker finally. And they've been so amazing. There are 4 people that own this that are big in this town. They've done a lot to bring business in this town. And they're
And if
great
I ate
people.
here every day, I'd be as big as a house because they got awesome pizzas.
You know, they do have great pizza. They have great everything here. The chicken wings are off the hook here.
I haven't
man.
tried those yet.
The Buffalo Mac.
If they
Top
have
notch.
boneless,
Really?
though, I'm a weirdo. I don't like.
No, they only have
I don't
bone
like
in.
getting my fingers.
Those
dirty.
are chicken nuggets.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
just
I
so you
eat
know.
nuggets. I
Okay,
don't
all
eat-
right, okay.
I don't like messy fingers.
I was always been a wet wing guy. I never did dry rub until I had Gilbert's. His pepper garlic or garlic pepper are the shit. They are so good. That's all I ordered now, and I've never been a dry rub guy ever.
Really?
So yes, and then the ice cream I stopped in here because why lose weight? That's just silly.
They got Froyo.
Life is short.
There's
Enjoy.
less of me
yeah.
to love that. Who wants that? No, nobody. So anyway, thank you, Brush Emporium. Thank you so much for everything you do. 210 Clayton Street. Support small business because if you don't, it goes away. Right?
Yes.
Yes, right. So, and also one quick plug on the if you need your haircut.
City Barbershop and Color Parlor.
What's the address? Slick?
219 Clayton Street.
219
Is that the one
Clayton
across the street?
Yes.
I've been telling my boyfriend to go there.
My mom actually goes there now.
Yes.
So yeah,
I love his mom.
I'll have to go.
Yes, she loves his stuff
I hear
too.
all the Larry stories.
Yeah, oh God.
Small towns.
So anyway, all right. So let's see what the board says there. House on Decatur. What wasn't true about that?
Okay. This is what I was told after the house was sold.
Okay.
That this happened to the lady. I don't know if it was true or not. But the house was sold a bunch of times. My parents bought it. It was like the playground of the neighborhood. Windows were all broken out. It was a mess. Blood all over the walls. It was a mess.
What was on the walls?
Blood. Yeah,
Really?
we don't know what happened in the house. So my
Okay.
parents restored it. And then they sold it. And it just never seemed to keep people. It was kind of like the Amityville. It never kept people after
Right.
that. And we had heard the people that bought it right after from my parents that the neighbors told us that. So
Okay.
I don't know if it was true or not. So it was a borrowed story because I don't know if it was
Fair
true or
enough.
not because we weren't
All
there.
right.
I mean, I've seen Ouija board fly across the room. I've seen salt and pepper shakers fly off the wall. Kids that were under 3 years of age would scream as soon as they got halfway up the stairs. But the house really didn't bother me. But as I was growing up, something kept drawing me to that house constantly. And I talked to a medium way back in the late 70s, and she said that was Christopher, and he kept calling me back. And then I got a little history that there was a child molester in the neighborhood. And then you start remembering things when you were a kid. And that Christopher was there because of that. And actually, there was a child molester because I remember him asking us kids to go find his dog. And
Really?
none of us kids would do it. I went inside the friend's gates, and we wouldn't come out the gate. We wouldn't go with him. So
That's scary, man.
It is. It
Yeah.
is.
It's so in the front of you right now in the news and stuff today, but it's always,
It is.
It's
It's
always been
horrible.
there, right?
Yeah.
It's
It
always
hasn't
been
been, but it was just never
Just social media makes it
makes it more
come
known.
out.
Sure,
Yeah,
you hear
so-
that. You hear more stories. That's crazy stuff. Christine, true story, obviously.
Yes.
Very kind of cool. We'll have to go check it out when we're done
Yeah,
here.
only a crazy person can own her.
Yeah, that's all right. And Riverdale, I'm super curious about Riverdale.
Oh,
now.
there's all just pull up the stories on it. Yeah,
Right.
there's
I'm gonna
all
look it up
kinds of
now.
stories,
Yeah, dude, you go on YouTube. There's some pretty good.
But my daughter
documentaries.
said the gates are gone because she
Oh,
patrols it. you know,
Sure.
patrolled it, so she said the gates are gone.
Has she ever seen anything? Patrolling it? She's never seen anything?
No,
No, never? Okay.
just the crazy stuff the kids do.
Before we go, I want to ask you one question. What's the most freaked out you've ever been? What's the thing you came across in the supernatural realm that's freaked you out?
I have to say that Riverdale incident.
Really?
That I've never had that feeling of that just dark and gloom and doom.
Right.
You know, I mean, it was just like I said. I wanted to run. I told my grandson, "We're out of here." You know, and
Right.
usually I'll be probably if I was by myself, I would have tried to figure it out, but I was too afraid for my grandson because
Okay.
possession.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I didn't want anything going home with my grandson, so I wouldn't look, but I'll show you the orb we found on Riverdale.
Yeah, go home and check it out, Carrie. It's pretty cool. So you found
That's when I
orb.
told you the kids hung the noose
wow.
over the tree.
Yes.
You could see the orb.
So it's funny. My mom watches these podcasts on our big screen on YouTube, whatever. And there's one. It's the Rena Frasco episode, and Dency is the co-host. Now this is the middle of winter, so there's not bugs anywhere, and there is clearly an orb that she sees. And everyone's like, "Nah, that's dust or something." They're like, "No, look at the path it takes. It is not dust." I should have time marked it, but I showed Dancy and she was like, "No, I don't think so." But there's been a few times. There's one, as a matter of fact, when we first started this podcast, Matt Gordon and I had bought some of this equipment, not this stuff, but my original stuff, and we had set up, and Matt and I turned it all on, and we're just talking, just so I can kind of get a feel for the audio and stuff. And sure as shit, there's something that comes down from the speaker behind him that I barely caught. I showed him, and it's pretty. I'll have to see if I can find it, but
Yeah.
it was pretty wild. So there's something's with that sands. And I'm
Yeah.
sorry that Reno
Yeah, I've had
Frasco-
where, like we were talking about, I've had where the TV shuts off for no reason. And
Right.
then it'll come back on, and
Right.
yeah, crazy
That's
stuff
wild.
like that.
That's
But-
crazy. No, it's I full on believe in that stuff for sure. So it's that's why I gobble it up. Yeah, I get all freaked out too. I'm a big puss. So.
See, that's the only time I got freaked out, and I think, like I said, was because my grandson was with me. Otherwise, it doesn't really bother me. I look at them as people.
Is he open to that stuff? Does he kind of?
Oh,
does he
yes.
feel it too, or?
Oh yes.
Is it,
Well, he's seen it too, because I asked him before I told him what it was to make sure that it wasn't. Oh, I told you it was a mouse, and then you're like, yeah, it was a mouse.
It was- yeah.
because it's already in your head.
Yeah.
So when I told him, would you see what I see? And he says, that man? And he was actually wearing a hat like you. And he was coming, he was
Larry.
tall and thin, looked like he had a coat on.
See, tall and
He was
thin.
coming.
Wasn't Larry.
No, it
wasn't Larry.
Larry.
Thank God. Am
he
I
just-
getting accused of something right here?
Yeah, he's just coming toward us. And like I said, the wind kept picking up really strong.
Yeah.
And when we went back the next day, the same thing, the wind, it was just, it was fine and calm when we got out of the car. And then all of a sudden, boom, here comes this wind. If you go past the fairgrounds,
Okay.
and past the, what were you saying, the cement or the whatever that place is, past Jogger Road,
Yeah.
okay, and you just look for the memorial.
Okay.
It's the trees that kind of sit as a V right
Okay.
next to the memorial.
All right, I'll check it out.
It's pretty freaky.
I'll check it out. So fun. Did you have a good time today?
Yes, I did.
This was fun.
Yes, it was.
And if you'd like this, next week is Halloween. We're going to do a Halloween episode. I've kind of left it out for people to get a hold of me. A few people have with their Halloween stories. We did it last year. And it turned out okay. It turned out kind of fun. You know what I
Cool.
mean? So, yeah, you'll have to come back next
well,
week and
we're
tell
all
me a
into
story.
Halloween.
I love it. You know what's cool
We
is,
do the Colorado Festival of Horrors. So
Right. And you notice in town, more people are starting to put Halloween decorations up. It's kind of cool. So.
Oh, yeah, I've got, Jason, I've got the tents. They're all bloody. Looks like Crystal Lake.
Camp Crystal
I have
Lake.
the signs hanging there.
Right.
And the tents are sitting there, and yeah.
Justin Spradlin.
I would say Justin Spradlin's, yes.
I'll go to the library and look to the...
Is that the guy with the big skeletons?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so cool.
Yeah. The scarecrow tries to hug you, by the way.
Oh, really? It looks like the thing out of Jeepers Creepers.
Yes, that's
yes.
it. I was like, that thing looks familiar. And it talks, doesn't it talk, or it makes noise?
I don't know. I
It
went
makes
during the
noises.
day. I want to go at night. So.
Yeah, no, the chest of the skeleton lights up with fire. It's
Oh,
pretty-
really?
yeah, it's cool.
Oh, that's cool. I'm going to have to look.
Justin went to Home Depot and bought everything they had, I think. He just
That is
walked
so cool.
outside.
It is cool. It is cool. Yeah, I went around to see how many people actually decorated out here, and I was just kind of, it's like, cool.
It's gotten me more and more over the years, so where it's starting to
Really?
rival Christmas around here. Yeah, that's
Cool.
all, so yeah. Crystal, thank you so much for coming on. Why did I call you Crystal?
Yeah,
Silver,
That's
right?
okay.
I'm like, wait,
Just don't call me late for dinner.
Yeah. You said Crystal Lake, and then I started and I'm a bit slow. The hat's tight. So, Silver, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
It's been fun. Carrie, thanks for showing up, man.
anytime.
Yeah, it's been cool
always
to
fun.
have you. Yeah,
Yes.
we'll have Carrie Ann come back more. She gets mouthy, though.
Please.
Anyway, I'm Moose Lundstrom.
I'm Carrie Ankrum.
I'll catch you next time. Peace.